Um, I'm Omar Isidoro Rodriguez. I'm the owner and main curator of Manichaus, modern art space here in McAllen, Texas. Tonight we have a special show. It's Seven Sins. It is a group show of 7 artists and their interpretations of the 7 deadly sins.
This show is very interesting because it has really brought out the characters in the artists participating. Ramon Varela did with his spirituality a very strong piece dealing with pride. Leonard did gluttony and his very strong, very raw, bold painting, very characteristic of his work. And then Mark Clark, amazing craftsman, amazing drawing, and we got Franchute DeLeon with his amazing richness of color, and then we got Eduardo Ybarra with his sensibility of contemporary life. We got Oscar Alvarez with his very intrinsic sensitivity, and then we got my work, which is what it is, and which is the sloth sin, which is mañana. I'll finish it tomorrow.
The title of my painting is El Camino de Ixalba B, which signifies the underworld, and so it's related to Mayan cosmology. So in my painting, I work with layers. So in my painting, I did a chart, a celestial chart, and it has the Sagittarius and the Scorpio constellation. And astrophysics finds that in the center is the galactic center, and even a black hole. So in Mayan cosmology, they speak about those things in ways that are kind of like hard to decipher, but now they're deciphering all that. So there's kind of like this code hidden in all of that. So that's what my painting alludes to, these layers that have existed. I'm interested in that. I'm interested in using archetypical imagery and science together. And the indigenous cultures had always spoken about that. You know, you find it in the Vedas, you find it in Egyptian cosmology and mythology, you find it in the Maya. And so science is now coming around and they're speaking the same terms. And so now they're on the same wave, basically. And I find that very interesting. So that's basically where I come from. Start out with, of course, a blank slate, you might say, and I do a drawing of the constellation. So this is some of the Sagittarius constellation. That's done in pencil. And then I used charcoal and I drew the Hindu face, you know, all around in enlarged Hindu face. And then after that, I went back and I added some paint. So I'm trying to work with layers. So this is, you know, just using acrylic paints and house paints. And then I look at it and I start looking for things that come out, what I see intuitively. So I work very intuitively after that. First it's kind of planned, and then intuitively I start working with the shapes. Like here, this piece came out, you know, and it suggested some kind of a figure. This is drawn with about 3 different colors of Prisma, and I wanted it to look very illustrative and very flat, because a lot of the Mayans, they had their work also painted in various colors. Oil pastels around this mystic tree of origin. So this was a drawing that I had done, a huge drawing I did on a wall, and I photographed it and went into Photoshop and developed it, and then it's just collaged on top of the surface, and then I went back and I added all of this, you know, color right here. So this exploding color is coming out of the center or the third eye of the Hindu figure. But the graphs are very significant because the graphs represent energy and makes it more contemporary. So the idea of using, you know, Mayan figures and things like that has been around for a while, but I'm interested in connecting it to the contemporary issues of what energy is and what it isn't.